being joined right now by Liane Lanlgois of MODEL, Motorcyclists Opposed to Discriminatory Exhaust Legislation. Liane, you guys have got a big fundraiser and awareness campaign going on right now. Tell us a little bit about that.
We're going to have an event on the evening of March 28th. Doors will open at 7 o'clock. The bands are going to start at 8. We've got 2 bands confirmed so far with Harder and Northern Comfort. We have a couple other bands interested in playing as well. The great thing is they're donating their time for this event because of the cause. It's not a traditional charity fundraiser event. We're raising funds to help with the legal costs that Tom Booth will be incurring coming up challenging the bylaw in a provincial court. So we'll have door prizes, raffles, auction items, and just a lot of fun for a night to get together.
And outside of the camaraderie and fun, as you said, this money is going towards a major challenge of the noise bylaws and the discrimination against one particular group of motor users.
Right.
So for those that aren't up to speed on what's been going on, let's give them a quick recap.
Sure. So what happened in June 2010, the City of Edmonton enacted the very first motorcycle-only noise bylaw in Canada. And what that did was allow officers to focus strictly on motorcycles, where we receive different sort of standardized testing, different levels of fines. We have our own regulations. Enforcement's completely different, where they set up check stops. Whereas all the rest of the vehicles that could make this same amount of noise or louder in some cases are still only subjected to noise infractions under the Traffic Safety Act of Alberta. So for a motorcyclist, if we're pulled over and put through this test, which could take anywhere from a half an hour to an hour, depending on how many people they have pulled in, whether you're making noise or not, it's just you're on a bike, you're pulled in, the fine would be $250 if you fail at idle or above idle. For a vehicle, it's $115 for the exact same infraction. I, along with many people who support Model Edmonton, have an issue with the inequity in the law. We're not sitting here doing a loud pipe saves lives campaign. We're not about that. We feel your defensive riding skills and your acute awareness of what's on the road around you is what brings you home safely. However, we have a big problem with the inequity of this, and we've been trying very hard to work with the city to make that better, but they just won't listen. So thankfully, Tom stepped up and petitioned the court to challenge the bylaw, not just his ticket. And this is a responsibility to everyone in the motorcycle community to get behind this, as it affects all of us and could also affect every other place that has enacted this law across Canada. If we're successful, we're setting precedents and we're protecting our group to be treated equally without discrimination.
Yeah, because this whole thing is not about noise.
No.
It's about singling the riders out as if we're somehow different from other road users. We all pay insurance, we all pay road use taxes, we all have licenses and registrations, and yet it seems to be okay for someone in an import car with a $20,000 boombox to rattle the windows out of my house, but it's not okay for a motorcyclist to perhaps be a little hard on the throttle.
Yeah, it seems to be we're an easy identifiable group. We're on 2 wheels. You can single us out very easily on the street. I've always said, because as you know, you've heard my bike, it's pretty quiet even with aftermarket exhaust. If you put me beside a truck with straight pipes, they're going to pull me over thinking it's me making the noise, which has a lot of profiling going on with it and a lot of issues with this law. It just really wasn't put into place properly. And unfortunately, it's spread to at least 4 other communities in the country. Our goal has always been to work with these other communities that are facing this challenge to help them, because we have the statistics of 5 years proving all this. All this information has been handed to us from the Edmonton Police Service and other reliable sources that are directly involved with this law. So on our website, modeledmonton.com, you can find a whole bunch of background information. You can find out what the updated statistics are. You can find out little tidbits like where they set up their check stops and stuff like that, as well as all the information regarding our event, where to buy tickets once they're out there. We're just in the middle of getting them printed now, and how much they are and what's going on with that event.
I think a lot of the politicians were kind of hoping that you, Model, and the rest of the bikers would just kind of go off into the sunset, whimpering away on electric motorcycles or something, but it seems like even though this fight is almost 5 years long now, it's more important than ever to get down. We've managed to see Fredericton's bylaw reversed because of your guidance and assistance and working with those people out there. And if we can get this reversed here, then we're looking at other communities are going to have to go back to the drawing board, and they're going to have to rethink how they treat motorcyclists. It's really a constitutional challenge.
It is, and I did do some work with the people in Fredericton, but a lot of what they also did was they had a large community gathering together and a lot of support for the people who stepped up. They also found some loopholes that don't pertain to us in their provincial legislation, which actually rendered that law illegal. And the businesses in Bathurst, where the bylaw was rescinded, Fredericton it was just struck down. Yeah. In Bathurst it was rescinded. A lot of the businesses really felt the crunch from the lack of tourism because people boycotted. And that is people can say that we should do that here. It's a different culture, it's a different environment, there's a different population. It works there because of how things are there. It wouldn't work here. There's just not enough people on our side to boycott to make like that kind of an impact on everything. So, but yeah, I mean, in other places, it's still there. I applaud and will continually applaud Calgary for their ongoing efforts of finding an equal solution for all forms of vehicles. They will not pass a bylaw that targets only motorcycles. They are doing everything in their power. They've recently put in a 96 decibel noise level using the TSA. So all vehicles are subjected to that, but they put in their own decibel level, and I think 96 is fair. So if we could get our city to do that, maybe the province jumps on board and changes the TSA to give it a decibel level, I'd be fine with that as long as everybody is treated equally and we aren't singled out. That's the only issue with this law, because there are people who are ignorant in our community. Nobody's going to say there isn't, but it's not limited to us. No. And that's where my problem has been since day one.
People want to join the challenge. Maybe they don't live in Edmonton. Maybe they live northern Alberta, southern Alberta, but they want to support you guys because there, but for the grace of God, go I, right? How are they going to support you? What can they do? How can they contact you?
Everything is up on the modeledmonton.com website under the event, the fundraiser event, the Noise is Noise fundraiser. There's some information there. They can email transfer money to modeledmonton.com using a code word noise bylaw. We can accept financial donations that way. There's been an Indiegogo website, GoFundMe website set up that you can donate through there as well. And we also want to make it very known that whatever money isn't used in this upcoming court battle, which could take a long time, any money left over from that will be going to charity because that's what our community does. We gather together to help everybody else out all the time. So whatever we don't use in the legal costs will go to charity for sure.
Anything that you would like to pass on as a little bit of advice to riders that are thinking about, geez, I have to go to Edmonton, am I safe?
Advice that I would give to people coming to visit our city is don't be scared of visiting our city, for one thing. If you go on our website, we have listed quite a few of the places where they will set up check stops. A lot of them revolve around going in and out of White Avenue area. Just be aware of that. Be aware of your rights. There's some the tidbit informational tidbits page is really handy to look at on our website. Mainly the message that I would like to put out there is be respectful and responsible of your surroundings when you're a motorcycle rider in the city. Because there's nothing even I hate more than people who are ignorant revving their engines for no reason whatsoever. We have a responsibility to promote a respectful community to everybody and not be part of those small, tiny 0.1% problem children that have gotten us into this position in the first place. So I guess that's the advice. Just be respectful and don't be afraid. If you get pulled in and get a ticket, contact us. We'll do our best to help you out.
That's wonderful advice. So it's Model Edmonton, MODEL, Edmonton.com. And thank you, Liane, for joining me and helping us spread the word.
Thanks.
Okay.